So in this final video, I will discuss why ArchivesSpace is important to archivists, librarians running special collections, and anyone who needs to manage archival collections and records online. So this is the main page of ArchivesSpace, and they have a very simple about us saying that it's built by archives for archivists. It is the open space archives information management application for managing and providing web access to archives, manuscripts, and digital objects. So this says a couple of important things. First, it's open source. So because budgets in libraries and special collections that might be using this are usually small, the fact that it's open source means that they don't have to pay for the software itself. However, in the case of ArchivesSpace, though you're not paying for the software, in order to be a full member, you do need to pay for services as a member. So the services are described over here. There are member services. They provide a user manual, technical and user support, a member representative forum, a user forum. There's training and consultations, there's migrations, there's registered service providers. So ArchivesSpace, if you are able to give them money, provides you with quite a lot of service, and the user groups, from what I've heard, are supposed to be particularly useful. They describe different ways of using the tools, and archivists can say, hey, this worked for me, this other method worked for me, here's this quicker way of doing things. So it's a whole community sharing information, so that's great. And the other thing is that there are a lot of archives using it, particularly within the US. So if you take a look here at this map, each A represents an archive using ArchivesSpace. So there are quite a lot of them. The Northeast, as you can see, is completely covered with places using them. Several of them here in Massachusetts. Our own school, Simmons, is listed as a user. So lots of people using it, so you won't be without people to help you out with it. So those are community reasons to use it. In terms of the software, as you can see, it's pretty easy to use. You can enter the different records very quickly. There's also even a quick data entry mode that I didn't show you that can make entering additional levels in your finding aid even faster. And the idea with software like ArchivesSpace is it's a way to make entering archival records easier for people who don't code or would rather not spend their time staring at lines of XML in Oxygen. Sure, that's an effective way of coding a online finding aid, but I've coded an XML finding aid. I had to for 440, and it took a very long time. With ArchivesSpace, I was able to enter similar information much faster, and it still provides a large amount of customization, and you can still export the data in XML. So if you want to use this to create your base XML and then tweak the code later in Oxygen, you can do that. So it is a great way of saving the time of librarians and archivists who need to work with archival records. In addition, it includes support for digital objects, which I didn't show you because I didn't have a good example of a digital object, but it allows you to enter metadata about a digital object like a scanned file or a picture and include that easily in your finding aid. So that is another great feature. So in summary, you should use ArchivesSpace because it has a great community and because it makes creating online finding aids easier than methods that are more manual. So that is all. Thank you so much for listening to my description about ArchivesSpace, and that is the end of my videos. Goodbye.